UCAN Studios. This is the Warriors Way podcast presented by Spiritual Warfare Unit. I am here with Anthony. Say good morning.
Good morning.
Before we get to him, if this is your first time, please go to Spiritual Warfare Unit. And if you know someone that needs something, click on struggling. If they need food or clothes or baby formula or mental health or outreach, you can click on any one of our over 20 different nonprofits that we are partnered with to get help directly for you. And if you're doing good, we all know someone who is struggling. If you know someone struggles with drug rehabilitation and they need to get housing, please go to UCANMichigan.com. That's UCAN, UCANMichigan.com. Click on struggling, and you can get information. Put your information, name, address, and phone number. Someone will contact you within 24 hours. Help us, help you, help others. All right, Anthony, how are we doing this morning?
I'm doing extremely well. Thank you for asking.
Well, we met at our social club that we hang out at, and you were telling me a story, and I had to have you on the show because you are what I consider in my world a success story coming from where you're at. And we can't spoil the thunder, but we got to get into it. And then it just so happens that you're a chess nerd, same as me. So cheers.
Salute.
Appreciate that. And so we're going to start with where'd you grow up?
I grew up here, Flint, Michigan.
Downtown, east side, north side, west side, south side?
Started north, but mainly on the south side.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up on the south side.
All right. Two parents, one parent?
One parent.
Stay in the same place or moving all the time?
We moved around a bit.
Yep, same?
Until we got to the south side, then we kind of like planted our roots there.
Okay. How old are you when that happened?
I was 5th, 6th grade, so 9, 10, 11.
9, 10, 11. So you're bounced around till then?
Yeah.
Same. Same.
Moved a lot.
Yep. Always having to get the bills paid and getting out and someone knock on the door is endless.
Right.
Endless.
Yeah.
All right. So did you say your mom, your dad?
My mom.
And as far as job-wise, did she just jump around or?
Yeah, she worked as much as she could. That's one thing I can't say about my mom. She's always worked growing up. So, yeah, she worked.
All right. So what is your 11-year-old life like? Do you have brothers and sisters?
Yes. I have 2 sisters on my mom's side, and I have 2 more sisters by my dad.
4 sisters.
4 sisters.
How many bathrooms does that house have? Woo!
No brothers.
No brothers. You're living in the estrogen ocean.
Right.
Man. And where did you fit in the 4? Don't tell me in the middle.
No, I'm the second born.
Oh, phew. At least you had some clout then. You didn't want to be third in that list.
Right. Surprisingly, I end up being the little big brother.
The little big brother.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Well, me and my older sister are pretty close. And,
What's the age difference?
me and her are 3 years apart.
3 years apart? Okay.
Yeah, she's actually a bicentennial baby. She was
Oh,
born
76.
July 4th.
Shut up. On the date.
Yeah.
America. Nice.
So,
Okay, so you're 3 years apart. And were you in trouble then? Did you do sports then? What were you doing?
well, in elementary, yeah, I played
I guess that'd be middle.
elementary, middle school. Well, back then.
Oh, right. Right.
Back then. Nowadays, middle school is what, 6th grade?
I think like 5th to 8th.
Yeah,
I think so.
So back then, elementary, I was interested in football, basketball, normal things that kids would like.
Were you athletic?
Well, that depends on. I was better at football over basketball.
Okay. And what was it about football?
Well, my uncle, he played high school football at Northwestern, went on to college, and
Okay.
I guess if there was anyone I would have to look up to back then, it would be
It
him
was him.
in that regard. So, and plus, I really liked football. I got good at it.
What'd you play?
A defense cornerback.
Cornerback. Okay.
That was the position he played, and so I kind of liked the same position.
I got you. All right. So you get down into the South Side. You're going to school. When did life start to change? You know.
Well, life got really bad. It started to change around that time.
All right. What was the trigger? Do you remember?
Well, so my mom had started using drugs, and the spiral that began after that was
Same.
yeah.
Same.
And
How long did the spiral last before she lost it all? Was it quick?
yeah, to me it would seem quick.
Yeah.
Couple years, within a couple years, it had got really bad. To
What was she on?
crack
Crack.
cocaine, and we had to start moving around a lot, stuff like that.
Right.
And it was a struggle for me as a child because growing up, I knew my mom one way,
Yeah.
and then seemingly overnight, I had to adjust to her another way.
And how did you do that? I mean, what did you do?
Well, I just was there.
Right. Like for me, when my mom was doing that kind of stuff, I just focused on my sports. You know what I'm saying? Like the rest of it, I'd come home, I just kept my head down, don't look her in the eye, don't cause any fights, you know.
Okay, so speaking of that, I excelled academically.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't have a problem in school with learning. My grades were still good.
Good for you.
So I guess that's how I dealt with it.
So you focused in on the grades.
Yeah. I was really awesome in school. Like I had exceptional grades.
That makes sense. I play chess against you. That makes sense. So, all right. So this is what, your freshman year now? Let's say, what's going on now?
No, so we're still in the 7th grade, around 6th, 7th grade, getting up to 8th grade. So by the time I got into high school, which would have been around 94, I started at Central. I was beginning to rebel.
Yeah. What kind of things were you doing?
Well, I was 14, 13, about to turn 14 at that time. And so that's when I began to sell drugs.
It's a tough age, right?
Yeah, I started selling drugs when I was 14.
And what was the reason?
Well,
And how did you get into it? And who did you talk to? Like, explain this.
okay, so after watching my mother spiral, my initial reaction was hurt and pain because of the neglect that I felt.
Right.
There was no abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse. None of that happened. It's just the pain of going from a nice household to now at times we didn't have water.
Right.
At times we didn't have food. No school clothes, shoes, things like that.
Right.
A kid would want or feel.
Right. And then you're getting dogged on at school about it all the time.
Yeah. So I began to tell myself I'm going to start doing it for myself.
Right. So you wanted to sell drugs so you could just get the basic ends to meet: food, water,
That was
clothes.
the initial mindset. That's why I started it.
And then what happened?
And then it became a lifestyle, which was an addiction all within itself. A lot of people focus on the users of drugs. I've never used drugs. I've never used powder cocaine, crack cocaine, pills. I've never did any of that. But selling drugs is an addiction all within itself. And so once you get used to making the money, it's like that's your high.
So how fast did that happen? I mean, what was the turnaround from the time you started? You said you were 13 or 14?
14.
14. From the time you started, I got to imagine you were paying the bills very quickly.
Oh, yeah. By the time I was 15, 16, well, I had my first daughter when I was 16.
Outstanding.
She was pregnant when I was 15. She was born when I was 16. And so I had to grow up.
Very quickly.
And then at times my mother would, need money from me
Of course.
and stuff like that.
So that made the dynamic of the house very strange.
Yeah. I became the man of the house.
And you were probably not listening to anything at that point.
Oh, no, it wasn't.
I can't imagine you were.
But I was because I was, I guess, in control of myself.
Right.
So, and when I say that, I mean that at that age, I had started a little job at McDonald's on Dort Highway, and we're talking back when minimum wage was like $4.
Yeah, $4.75, I think.
Yeah, $4.75. We talk 95, 96.
When you say that now, it's a joke, right?
Yeah, it's a joke. So
$4.75.
I was working and trying to go to school, selling drugs, stuff like that, and
So how did the people that you met were just on your neighborhood to get you started? Is that how it worked?
they were the people that I see every day.
So you're going to school, and then you're selling drugs to basically pay the bills because your mom's not doing that, and you're like, well, I'm a man, I can do what I want and then why get a job at McDonald's?
Because I had a daughter, and
Okay.
so I was still trying to go right. I was still trying to go right, but still steering left, if that makes sense.
No, I got it. I'm trying to do the right thing, but this is way easier.
Yeah. So I knew that I had to provide for my daughter.
And you're 15.
Yeah, I'm like 15.
And you're going to school at this time.
Yeah, I'm still trying to stay in school.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a lot on me back then. And I remember working at McDonald's and getting a check. 2-week paycheck was like $200.
Yeah, it probably made you sick to your stomach, right?
Yeah.
You're like, I can make that in a day.
Yeah. So I ended up quitting that job.
How long were you there?
Maybe a summer.
Maybe a summer.
3 months, 4 months, maybe.
Yeah.
And just continued to. By this time, 15, 16, I had already now. I guess my motives or intentions began to change from survival and getting what I need to now. This is my lifestyle.
A little luxury. And
yeah, this is now the luxuries.
I'm going to start flaunting it a little bit, which is never good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So things like that started.
And you're how old when you make this transition? 15, 16?
16, probably.
16 years old.
Yeah.
And you're living on the south side.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
And you're not listening to your mom, and you got your sisters, and you're making the decisions at the house at 15 or 16 years. That had to be really stressful, man.
Well, so at this time,
I could imagine having a teenager going.
so the dynamics of the household was just me and my mom and my stepdad at the time. My older sister, she had left.
Well, what did he do?
He worked. They worked, but they were both getting high.
Oh, okay.
And so my little sister, she went to live with her dad, and my older sister went to live with friends because she couldn't take it.
Right.
And so it was just me. And I did, whatever I want.
Right.
I wasn't like out here into trouble. I mean, I'm selling drugs. So.
Yeah. Other than that, it's totally fine.
I wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
With a little asterisk by it.
Yeah. But other than that, you're going to school. You're trying to take care of your daughter. Like
school.
you're trying to.
Yeah, I'm still
get all that done.
Trying to figure out how to be a father, which I don't know.
Right. Because you're 15.
And who would teach me?
And you can't know what you don't know. But before you get in the next act, we already got to go to our first break. If this is your first time, please like, share, and subscribe. Sit tight. We will be right back. Taking a quick break from our podcast, I wanted to let you know about our life application program that we have for churches and nonprofits in the area that are trying to find programming that they can use in case the corona shuts you down and you're not able to get in. You go to spiritualwarfareunit.com. You click on our episodes and you can check out our programs for as little as $29.99 a month to make sure that we're still getting the word out to those people that need it. Now, back to the program. Welcome back to UCAN Studios. I'm here with Anthony Strong, and he was just getting ready to get in the second part of his story here at 15. So you're running the house, you're going to school, you have a daughter, 15, 16.
Yeah.
Your parents, your dad or your stepdad and your mom are addicts, and you're just trying to survive. Your sisters have left because they can't deal with the stress. What happened next?
Life. At that point, probably 16, 17, I went full-fledged into the streets. Like,
So you staying out late? Like
yeah, I'm doing everything
cars,
street related. Yeah, no less
street related,
Yeah, less and less school.
right?
Yeah, cars, clothes, hanging out,
Jewelry,
smoking weed,
girls,
lifestyle, yeah, all of that.
that whole party life. So you
Yeah.
just got it. You think you just got it figured out at this point?
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out, but I'm at least knowing the direction I'm going in.
Right.
It went from survival to now. All right, this is just it. This is
Right.
where I'm going.
And I'm living, and it's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. So
At that time, I end up meeting my first wife, and we got together, and that began to.
how old are you?
I was like 17, 18 at the time.
17, 18. Okay.
Yeah, somewhere up in there. This was 97,
Okay.
so I would be about 18.
So when did you get married?
We got married in 2001.
All right. So you dated for
4 years.
4 years.
Until 2001. We moved to Atlanta in 2000.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
And then
That's a switch.
Then 2001, we got married.
Hold on. So did you leave here to stop selling drugs? Did you like?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So when
Like you can't just say I left the state. Like there's a reason.
Okay, so we got together in 97.
Yeah.
Then we're dating, we're together. I still had the desire to do right while doing wrong. So I did manage to go and finish school. I checked into I started taking classes at
For college.
Mott College
Okay. What?
for accounting.
Accounting.
So
Out of all the things. That's awesome.
Go figure. So I started taking accounting related courses.
And you liked it?
I liked it. I love math. I'm a numbers guy.
Yeah.
So this is around 99, early 2000. We moved to Atlanta in August of 2000 with the intention of leaving drugs alone, selling drugs, and going to school. So I went to Atlanta. I checked into DeVry, Institute of Technology.
Yeah.
Did 2 semesters there, and which brings us to 2001. We got married in April 2001, and
Now, did you have your daughter with you at this time?
no, my daughter was still here.
Okay.
She wasn't with my wife. She was with
Yeah.
another
No,
girl.
I got that. I was just curious.
No,
All right.
so she was up here.
So you married in April 2001.
Yeah, but it got really, really bad in Atlanta.
What happened?
We were struggling because the money wasn't the same. The money we took with us had ran out, and cost of living was high. It was frustrating. We were arguing and fighting a lot. Like it was really like stressful times for us. It was a time that neither one of us had went through up to that point. We're still fairly young,
Right.
so.
That life experience boxes.
And I just remember being frustrated and arguing a lot and fighting a lot. And she moved back. She came back to Flint.
How long were you married before that happened?
From April of 2001 to August, September, maybe.
That's it?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was just really like
4 months, and that was what?
It was like really frustrating times.
Well, sure.
And
I mean,
so-
you don't go to college and they just give you money. That's not how any of that
Yeah,
works.
so it was, but the plan was to try to bear with it.
Yeah.
Until
Stick to it till you
I
get there.
graduate.
Yeah.
Then life would be golden.
So what'd you do?
So she left me down there, and we agreed. I didn't want her to go, but she wanted to go. So she ended up coming back. I tried to stick it out. And so men, like, we can be strong in so many different areas, but emotionally, we tend to be weak. And so I emotionally, I was a wreck. And
Okay.
so I came back to Flint
How long after she left did you come back?
a month, maybe.
Oh, the month. You were like,
Yeah,
I'm gone too.
Yeah.
The dream is over.
Well, I came back to Flint. We talked about it, and then she ended up coming back because we had an apartment.
Mm-hmm.
So she left. So we
You came back to Flint to get her. Good for you.
yeah. So when she came back to Flint, we were going back and forth over the phone a lot, arguing. Some days were good, some days were bad, and then we found out that she was pregnant with our first son. And so I came back to Flint. We talked, and she agreed to come back. So she ended up coming back. And then when we got down there, she's dealing with the pregnancy, being sick, morning sickness, stuff like that. And then it still was the same as far as
Money,
frustration,
life,
everything. It
frustration.
was still so.
Yeah.
We had a talk. She wanted to be around her support system, which is her family,
Right.
because they have a very close family. So she wanted to be around her family. I would have rather stayed, but I had to agree. It was stressful, frustrating. Like it was just we were like really, really broke. Like
Sounds like it.
and so we came back. So now we're October of 2001.
Okay.
Late 2001. Toward the end.
Okay.
So we come
We're
back.
building to something.
Right. So at the end of 2001, now we're back here. Our son is scheduled to be born in May of 2002.
Okay.
We get back to Flint with nothing.
Right.
Our clothes.
So where are you staying?
So we stayed with her mom for a few months to try to get on our feet.
Right.
I knew what I had to do. So I went back to the streets. Now, mind you, I'm still taking classes at Mott, but I go back to the streets, and I go even harder than before because now I have 2 kids.
Right.
I have my daughter, and then now we're having a son.
Right.
We're living with her mom, which, in my opinion, would not have been satisfactory to me. Because I
Right.
just think as a man, you
your
got a
job.
wife and kids,
Right.
you need your own place.
And it's your job to take care of
Yeah.
them.
Now her mom was nice. Her mom would have let us stay as long as we wanted
I
to.
believe it.
But I wouldn't have wanted to. So
Right.
yeah, I grinded, hustled, and saved up some money. We got us a place. And
How long did that take?
A few months.
Couple months.
Yeah, a couple months. It didn't take long. And so now we're in our own place. Our son is born, and now I'm knee deep in the streets, waist deep probably by this time. And we're talking. Our son was born in 2002, so I'm waist deep. Now it's just all street life.
And how dangerous are we talking about?
Well, it was
Pretty darn.
pretty deep.
Because I got to imagine there's got to be a little bit of frustration that you left and then you came back, and then you're working hard. So those guys that aren't working as hard are getting a little jealous, and then that stuff starts happening, right?
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah, it was disappointing for me to move back because
right,
I had my desires and my dreams.
right. It's like admitting failure, right?
Exactly.
Dang.
Yeah.
Had my out. I was out.
Yeah.
And here I am.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I knew that, okay, so my mindset at the time was there wasn't a job here in Flint that could pay me what I felt I needed for me and my family to live good. So I knew that as long as I was in Flint, what I would do.
Right.
Atlanta
So you
was
made the choice.
Atlanta was the out. But in Flint, I'm not working no job.
I tried.
I tried McDonald's.
It didn't work.
I even worked at rallies.
This is what I am.
Yeah. So
Even worked at rallies.
I did. I tried it.
Right.
And so I was in the streets full time, and I had began to grow. So the bags or shipments, I guess you would call it, became bigger and bigger and bigger. And so greater.
How big are we talking?
It was a lot.
A lot.
It was a lot.
Okay. And you're how old at this time?
21,
21.
22.
So most people are just getting to legally drink.
Yeah, and
you're
I was
waist deep in this.
I was in kilo territory
Wow.
at that time.
Weekly?
It was regularly.
Regular, on the regular.
At that time, I was in kilo territory. Yeah, 21, 22. And so the lifestyle that came with it.
And the whole time you never did any of this stuff.
No, I've never did coke, pills, nothing. I smoked weed. That's the only drug I did, sip cognac. But I never tried any other drug. I've never even tried it. When I get sick, I don't even take medicine. I don't.
Why do you do that, you think?
Well,
I mean, it's just interesting.
because I like to sweat it out. I like to, like, if I start feeling fluish or something, I'll just bundle up in pajamas and cover and sweat, try to break
No
my fever.
Mucinex for the colds, no flu system.
No, I take Zyrtec for my allergies. I may drink Theraflu to try to heat my body up before I lay down and bundle
Just to
up.
naturally allow it to sweat it out.
But no, I don't. I'm not a run to Rite Aid and sweep the medicine. I'll sweep it all into the basket. Just give me everything.
Yeah.
No, I'm not that kind of guy. So no, I've never did any drugs other than smoke weed. Never. And so,
Well, before you get into this one, I hate to cut you, but we're already to our second break.
sure.
We're getting ready to get to it. Sit tight. This is Spiritual Warfare Unit. We will be right back.
Hey, it's Aaron with UCAN. We're out here at our third annual golf outing here in the Genesee Valley Meadows. So, really good day. We have a great number of teams, great sponsorship, great people. We're hoping for a great time. The weather's good. So, we appreciate all the support we get at all of our events. It helps us fight the fight that we fight. So, thank you all. Stay the course.
A lot of fun with a good cause. This is a very good cause, and I enjoy doing it. And my sons are with me today, and we're just going to have fun. We know we're not going to win, but we're going to have fun.
Oh, today is an awesome day today. This is our fourth or fifth one here, and can't thank UCAN enough for what they do, especially on this situation where they have this outing, Mark and Debbie and all of them. It's just an amazing outing, and I couldn't think of it brings back memories, but it's a wonderful thing, and we really appreciate it.
All right, welcome back to UCAN Studios. This is the Warrior Way podcast, presented by Spiritual Warfare Unit, and I'm here with Anthony Strong, and he was giving us his story, and we're just about, I feel like the hammer is about to drop. You said you were 21, waist deep, 2 kids, got a home, apartment where you're staying right now?
Got a house.
Got a house where you're still in Flint?
Yeah, we're in Flint.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so something is about to happen. I can feel it.
Well, it started to go really bad. As far as the relationship, because what came along with the street stuff, the money, cars,
a lot of drama.
clothes, jewelry, women. I started cheating.
Women?
Yeah, I started cheating.
That's why there was drama.
I started cheating, and then at that point, the trust was gone.
Sure. Relationship's toast, right?
Yeah. But we're still trying to work it out. So,
How long that last?
what, the cheating?
No, before it all.
So, I mean, it lasted up until I went to prison. I went to prison in 2010.
All right, so there was 9 years of that, just frustration.
Well, yeah. Not to mention I didn't stop cheating.
That would cause an issue.
Yeah.
I can see wives being upset about that.
Yeah.
All right, so the kids are going, so between 2001 and 2000, what did you say, 10?
Yeah. Well, my son was born in 2002. So from the time he was born, I think the first time I got caught messing around was like 2003, something like that.
All right, and then what was the first, like, hammer to drop before we get to 2010? There's always You know, or you got arrested or almost arrested or
Yeah, so up to then, on top of the normal life marriage issues because of me messing up, 2007, I got arrested.
for
Drugs, selling drugs.
possession or
Possession with intent to distribute,
intent to distribute. Okay.
which is a felony, time-serving felony.
Time sharing, and that was the first one.
Yeah, no. So I had got caught, little minor stuff. I got caught with some weed. I was on probation for.
All right. Well, what were you on probation for? What was the first time you got arrested?
Okay, so I got caught selling weed in 2002.
So and that happened in coordination with cheating and the wife.
Yeah,
That all was
so
in
it
the
was
same
like,
thing.
Yeah, it was all like. So before I moved to Atlanta in 2000, I didn't have any legal issues at all.
Right. That's where I'm trying to
Like-
get to. What put you on their radar? Why were they looking?
So when I got back from Atlanta, the level of intensity with which I went back to the streets,
Yeah, you said it was higher.
it brought about cases,
Right.
drug cases. I started getting in trouble
Okay.
legally, and so I got arrested in like 2002 or something for having some weed. I got put on probation for that, and that 18-month probation sentence lasted about 4 years because
You just kept.
smoking weed and dropping dirties. And so they kept extending my probation.
Weird how that works.
Sending me to rehab. Yeah, so I began to spiral.
Right.
Now that I look back on it, I began to
Yeah.
spiral, not from using drugs, but because of the lifestyle of selling drugs.
Yeah.
And so that's when my legal troubles, somebody pulled the plug and water just started going down the drain. So, yeah, so
So you're arrested, probation in 2002. What happens next?
So we're on the way back from the casino one night. It was late at night. We were smoking weed, me and my friends, and we get pulled over by the state police in Oakland County. We're smoking weed
Oh,
again.
yeah.
I got weed on me, so now I got a probation case in Genesee County
And
in
Oakland.
Oakland County.
Uh-oh.
So I got 2 probation officers. Then
But you didn't stop smoking weed.
hard head. So
Yeah. I'm just asking.
I didn't stop smoking weed,
Yeah.
to answer your question. So now I have so I had a 84 Oldsmobile Cutlass,
Nice.
souped up engine and everything.
What color?
Blue. It was ready to run. And so I got pulled over by the Genesee County Sheriff Department, and I had some drugs, some crack that I was going to sell. And they found that. So now I'm on probation in Genesee County. I'm on probation in Oakland County, and I get caught with some crack.
You're in
It was
trouble
a small amount, so
But-
it wasn't time serving amounts, but it was still enough to jam me up in Oakland County and Genesee County. So Oakland County wanted prison time, but I had paid a lawyer to fight the case, which got me more probation. Genesee County extended my probation, and now I'm on misdemeanor probation.
So you're getting right up to the edge,
I got 3 probation officers. I'm drug testing 4 times a week.
and you're still smoking weed.
No, I had to stop at this
Oh,
point
thank God.
because I dropped the dirty with Oakland County,
Yeah.
and their penalty is 3 days in Oakland County jail. So I dropped the dirty. I had to turn myself in Oakland County for 3 days. And all of this is happening within from like 2003 to maybe 05, 06. All of this is going on.
Just bang, bang,
Just bang, bang, bang. Yeah. So then 2007, the case that sent me to prison. Now I'm going to see a friend. He called for some drugs, so I'm going over there, and he had undercover DEA agents in the house.
Oh,
And so
no.
while me and him is doing the deal in the driveway, they're in the house radioing everything. And so when I pull off,
It's over.
the state police pull me over, and yeah, it goes from there. So now I'm arrested on that charge.
Right? Oh, no.
Yeah. So this is September 2007. This is federal because
Right.
it involved the DEA.
Right.
All of this was state.
Right.
Some misdemeanor. So this
Yeah.
is federal now. That was September 2007. In 2008, they put out a sealed indictment for me, but I didn't know because I hadn't got in trouble. No arrests, no traffic stops or nothing.
Right.
So it would just be one of those things when they catch me.
Yeah.
Then they got to unseal this indictment. And so 2009, in February, a few days before my birthday, me and a friend was on our way to Chicago driving, and we get pulled over by the Indiana State Police for what?
Smoking weed. Oh no.
And so
oh no.
right, I'm driving.
Oh great.
So they run my name.
Yeah.
And that's when they told me
You got to unseal that sucker.
I had
now.
an indictment.
Oh no.
Yeah. So boom, that's when the federal
And that's when all the dominoes came.
falling down. And so
Man, what was that like?
it was a stress and a pressure that I've never felt before.
I mean, it had to be like earth-crushing pressure.
Yeah. And so now I'm fighting this case.
So what'd you do?
I took the plea. I took a plea for 10 years, 120 months. And that was in like June or July of 2009. And they wanted to sentence me in December before Christmas. Mm-hmm. But my lawyer allowed them, he asked them, could they postpone it? So they sentenced me January 10th of 2010. Mm-hmm. And I went to prison until February of 2017.
All right, so you go to jail, and like it's got to be the lowest point, right? I mean, it has to be,
Yeah.
right?
That's
So you go in there, and you're dealing with this really violent environment, I'm imagining.
It's not TV. It's not as violent as people make it seem. But there's the element of violence. It could
Does
be.
it depend on who it is that you group with? Like, is that important?
No, it depends on the level. Because in the federal system, they have prison camp, low level, medium level, and penitentiary max
All right, what's the
level.
difference so people know? What's the camp?
The camp is usually nonviolent offenders that have 10 years or less
Okay.
on sentence.
What's the next level?
The next level is low level prisons. You got 10 years up to 15 years. You're not violent, but based on your point system, because they score, your level of custody depends on your points.
And where do they get the points from?
Previous crimes, history of.
So what was your points?
I started out at a prison camp.
Oh, at the lowest
So
level.
I was at the lowest level, level nonviolent, and it's literally like Job Corps, basically.
No kidding.
No fence around it. Yeah,
120 months.
120 months, starting out 10 years. I messed that up because
If you tell me smoking weed, I'm gonna.
no. So I ended up getting caught with a cell phone. You're not
Oh,
supposed to have a cell phone in prison, so I had a cell phone.
shocker!
So yeah, I ended up
How long was that?
into the prison sentence.
Yeah.
I got sent to prison January. I got caught like July, August. I didn't waste no
7,
time.
8 months.
Yeah, I got right to it. So
Oh, man, at least you're consistent. That's awesome. I love that.
because it took a while to break the
Yeah, them habits.
the egocentric
Yeah.
mentality, and so I get sent to a low level prison. Now the security is a little more stricter, but it's still easy. I mean, they had a fence around it, but
So what'd you do for fill your time?
worked out. Tried to learn a trade. That's when I really got into the Bible,
What kind of trades?
plumbing.
Plumbing. You like
Yeah.
you like it?
Yeah, I started out liking it. Actually tried to get into plumbing.
Started out liking it.
Well, I still like it.
Yeah. I couldn't do plumbing.
But that's how I ended up meeting Howard.
Yeah.
Fast forward, but
Yeah.
started out wanting to be a plumber.
All right. And what was it about your faith that when you got in there that you found? What was it?
Well, I still would go to church because during the course of our relationship where I was messing up a lot, that was an avenue where I felt like we could fix it through Christ. So we were going to church on Sundays and I would sell drugs the rest of the week.
Right.
The stuff
Yeah.
we tell, the stuff
It's
we
the
tell
stories
ourselves.
we tell. It's the convincing of it. Listen,
Yeah.
man, everybody's got a story, and this is what it makes it good. Unfortunately, we have to go to our third break. Please like, share, and subscribe on Spiritual Warfare. Sit tight with Anthony. We will be right back.
I'm really impressed with the teachings that Isaac has been bringing to us, as this is all based from Proverbs.
I like it because it's simple, and it doesn't matter who you are. It's very easy to understand and apply to your life.
You know, it points out, you know, my bad parts, and, you know, but it's showing me how to do the good parts. And, you know, I'm trying to apply that and, you know, make a better life for myself because I'm tired of where I've been.
It's impacted a lot of the guys as they continue to talk and ask questions after the meetings, as they speak to one another regarding the meeting and the messages and the topics that are being brought up, which are down-to-earth topics of situations and things that we live with on a day-to-day basis.
He takes the Bible and he breaks it down into simple terms and where you can understand. And like I said before, sometimes a lot of churches, even the Salvation Army, sometimes we start using these big words that people don't understand, like even saying someone got saved. Well, what does that mean? What does it mean when you say someone got saved? And it's accepting Jesus into your heart. So it's like words like that we use that people don't understand.
It's just very interesting how he points out, you know, the different things of, you know, the sin part, and then he comes back with the, you know, how to make it better, and he just points it out. It's there. You know, I didn't know all this stuff was in there, but now that he's pointing it out, it's like, wow, you know, I guess if you really dig into the Bible, you find these things.
This is a daily moral standards that we can live by, that the teachings are coming from. And honestly, we can take verse by verse as what he's done, and pretty much he's done the hard work for us and now laying it out so that we have an easier understanding.
There's some people who don't like to be in Bible classes, but this one seems to get their attention.
Welcome back to UCAN Studios. This is the Warrior Way podcast brought to you by Spiritual Warfare Unit, and I am with Anthony Strong, and he's going to be finishing up his story here. He was just getting in prison and doing skilled trade stuff, and only getting in trouble after 7 months, being consistent. So you said you liked plumbing at first, and then how did that progress? You got to meet a friend of ours, Howard, who is a great guy with skilled trades. And they do prison projects to help people get into skilled trades programs so they have a job and they can get out. So you met him there? You met someone through the program to get them there?
No, so while I was in prison, I was on a quest to not be the way I was before I came to prison.
Right, you're trying to find a different path.
Yeah, because so much had happened. Like me and my wife had it completely fell apart in prison. So I'm learning trades. I'm in the skilled trades program. I'm learning plumbing, reading. I'm working out. Now it's getting time for me to come home.
Yeah.
After 7 years, I did 7 years in 1 month. So when I get out, I'm trying to get into the plumbers union because I did plumbing while I was in prison for about. Out of the 7 years, I did plumbing for 5. So I was really...
And that's good money, man.
Yeah.
That's good money.
Yeah, so... Well, not in there. They pay you $120 a month.
That's not what I meant. I meant when you get out, you can take care of your family. Like
Exactly. So I go to the plumbers union on Pearson Road. They say that you have to take work keys, which is like an assessment test.
Yeah.
That Michigan Works offer. And so I'm like, well, I got to go to Michigan Works to do. So this is what they telling me at the plumbers union. So I call Michigan Works and say, hey, I'm trying to get in the plumbers union. I need to take work keys.
Yeah.
So the lady there, I believe her name was Angel, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I believe her name was Angel. So she said, well, hey, they got this program, the apprenticeship readiness program.
There it is.
They're just getting ready to start. You seem like you may be a good fit for that. And so at the time, I'm like, I just need to take work keys so I can get in the
Yeah.
plumbers.
Just like, give me what I asked so I can do the thing that I know.
So she like, well, I can set that up for you, but would you consider interviewing for it? It wouldn't
Yeah, why
hurt.
not?
Just try it.
Yeah.
So being open, I said, yeah. So she set me up with the interview with Wanda.
It was awesome, by the way.
Wanda is awesome.
She
so
is awesome.
I met with Wanda.
How'd it go?
Yeah, she was.
And you're like, oh, I'm doing this.
Yeah, she was nice. And so Wanda said that they had a space for me. Actually, she said they were full, but one or two people were
Dropping out.
Yeah, so she said she moved me right in.
So what'd you go into? Like, what program did you do?
The apprenticeship readiness program.
Yeah, for which apprenticeship?
So it's not for a specific apprenticeship. They just, I guess, ready you for.
Oh, the 11-week. Oh, the MC3 paperwork that you do for the pretest. Okay.
Yeah. So you get
Right.
certificates. You get certified in lead abatement, asbestos, CPR. It's a lot of certifications that they're just now instituting in the skilled trades industry that you'll come into the industry already having.
Right.
So they
Pre-certified.
yeah.
Okay.
And so I began the course. That's when Howard came in, and we went through the course. And after the course, then it was like, okay, we had an option of where. So I go back to the Plumbers Union. I submitted an application for them, waiting on them to call. Then we go to a job fair in Detroit at the Carpenters Union. And it's just a bunch of contractors, you know, job fair.
Yeah.
And so I had like 50 resumes. I handed out maybe 20. And I ended up getting called by C.A. Hall. And which is a bridge company, highway construction,
Yeah.
bridge rehabilitation and stuff like that. So I ended up working for them as a painter. So I didn't get in the Plumbers Union.
Okay.
I got in the Painters Union.
Right.
Which is fine.
Yeah, it's whatever.
The money was good. It was
Right.
good money. And so,
Them
yeah.
fumes, man. Whew.
Yeah, we had to wear masks
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everything. So, yeah, I ended up working with them
How long did you do that?
for 5 years.
For 5 years.
Yeah, for 5 years.
And then what is it that you got going now? Like, what was the
Well,
next step after
I
that?
ended up getting my CDL driver's license. And so now I drive trucks.
Like
I
Class
drive,
A or?
Yeah, CDL A, Class
Okay.
A. So I drive for Mterra now, garbage
Okay.
trucks. I'm a driver, and I'm in the process of starting my box trucking business. So I'm doing
And
that.
what gave you the idea for the box trucking business? Like, just so I can drive a truck and I want to do this, and there's a need that you saw? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, the box trucking industry is a $700 billion a year industry.
And what is the box truck?
Well, it's just like semis. You hauling material just with a smaller truck. Because
Yeah.
most semis are like 50.
The 26 footers, not the
Yeah.
52 footers.
26. Yeah, and most semis are 52, so 26 is
So you
half
want
of
to
that.
buy some
Yeah, I want to buy trucks.
and then be able to use them to ship
yes.
stuff from point A to point, and you have the connections to be able to say, yeah, I can ship stuff for you cheaper than this guy and have my dot certs and all that
But
stuff.
not necessarily cheaper, but more reliable.
More reliable. That's
Yeah.
the issue, is reliability.
Yeah.
Why is that? I gotta
Because
be honest. Out of all of it, why would I mean, they got like certified runs and stuff, right? I thought.
Yes, because in my opinion, reliability matters. Less breakdowns, dependability,
Oh, I got you.
and reliability. Because
Okay.
cheaper means you're selling yourself short.
Yeah.
Because most of the costs in the trucking industry are the same. Fuel costs, whether you're leasing or renting your truck, insurance costs, all of those costs are the same. Regardless if you have a semi or
But you're
a
gonna
box
pick
truck.
me because I'm gonna be more reliable.
Yeah, that's the plan.
That's the plan.
Yeah, because what other, I guess, sticking point would you have? You got a 26-foot box truck. Your expenses are the same as mine.
Right.
You
Gas,
can't
insurance, driver.
you can't charge no cheaper
I wasn't
without cutting your profit.
like I didn't mean cheaper. What I meant was like it was a better. It was the value of it was better. That's what I meant.
Yeah, so reliability, dependability, because they
Like, how do you even get into that business? That's my whole point.
basically like anything else, just going out, building connections, networking, finding dedicated lanes, which is more consistent because that means that
They need these sprockets every Thursday at 6 o'clock or
yeah,
whatever.
and you're the guy that will be there at 5:30 every
Right.
time they need you, whenever they call you.
Right.
You even if you have a breakdown, you're right back up and running.
Come Hades or high water, you
Yeah.
are sitting there.
You're the guy.
You're like
that-
the male.
Yeah, you're the guy that we can depend on. That is what I guess would stand out because everybody claims to be that. Because
Yeah, everybody claims to be that.
exactly. But
So
you-
what was the transition? I'm sorry to cut you off, but I want to figure out from the time that, like, I understand why you started the drugs, take care of your family, and then you got into the lifestyle, which pulled you in. It was about your ego and look at me and look how cool and I am, right? And I can do what I want because I got this money, right? Which then started getting you hemmed up, and it started getting in trouble, and you thought you could get out first, and then eventually, bam, got you. What was the thing? Because it happened in prison where you're like, no, I want to be this guy. What drove that decision? Do you think?
basically realizing that God had been knocking on the door.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
And what got you there? Be getting punched so hard, like just losing everything?
Yeah,
You're
that
like,
was-
you have my full and undivided attention?
That was the ultimate blow.
Okay.
Because those small arrests that I seemingly got slapped on the wrist for, to me, I looked at it like those were him knocking on the door, which ended up leading to me ultimately going to prison because they happened successively, like
Yeah.
months apart. And
But
then,
a lot of people could turn to a million things. Why God? Like, why? What
well,
happened?
because I've known him. I was already a baptized believer before I went to prison.
You just weren't listening.
So I just wasn't listening. I felt like, God, I'm gonna go this way. You just have my back.
I want to do what I want, but I
Yeah.
want you to support me doing what I want, even though what I'm doing, I know you don't want me to do.
Yeah,
but
I
it's
mean-
cool.
The stuff we convince ourselves of.
I love how that makes sense.
I mean, I'm an open book. I don't have a problem with admitting it.
Right.
And so
Because the dude you're talking about and the dude sitting in front of me aren't the same. It's not even the
Exactly.
same animal.
prison was like a big reset button.
Okay.
It was a chance because it's easy to sit high and look low and say, well, why didn't you just walk away?
Yeah.
It's not that easy because
You tried that. You went to Atlanta.
So many things had begun to be dependent upon the lifestyle. You know what I mean?
It
Like,
drew you in.
yeah. So as I've gotten older and we begin to build our life as a family, a lot of what we were doing was dependent
Yeah.
upon me making that kind of money. So
Right.
it's like working
So the relationship was only working because the money was there.
with my wife.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
No. Like the lifestyle, being able to live on the level we were living on.
Oh, the vacation and the
taking
houses.
yeah,
and
all
the-
that type of stuff. Yeah, it's like working a job and you're supporting everything, and then
Yeah.
just quitting the job and say we'll make it. Oh, we'll be all right.
Right. And selling drugs is exactly the same as that. And would you say that's one of the reasons why people get caught up in it so much?
Yeah, because when you get it, if you stay focused and driven, you'll make the money you want in a very short amount of time. It's
But
just
there's all this stuff that comes with it.
well, when you make it, you'll find a way to spend it.
It's weird how that works.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just make more, right?
You'll start out saying, okay, I'm just gonna buy school clothes and I'm just gonna not do nothing. Okay, well, when you got a closet full of clothes and you want a car, okay, but now you got a car. Now you may want music in your car, sound system. Okay,
Yeah.
now you may want rims because that's what everybody is riding, rims.
Right.
And then now you like Miami, you want to fly to Miami, you
Yeah.
want to. So you start finding ways to spend it.
So let me ask this: Do you think that looking what other people had because you had the ability to get it, you had to do it? Like they got rims and they got a system, so I got to have rims and a system.
No,
Like what
Not-
was it other than you just wanted it?
well,
You know?
being in the game, living the lifestyle, yeah, you in a sense you could say that was the case, but it wasn't like follow the leader type of thing. It was
Okay.
like I had this money, and
And I want this thing, and I'm gonna
I'm
go
this
get
level. I'm this level of drug dealer, so I have to live like this level of drug dealer. You know what I mean? Okay, like saying
So if this guy's at this level and he's got that stuff, I got to have that stuff too, so he can see I'm at his level.
Yeah, it's the same as having $1 million and living in a motel
Right.
on Miller Road. You don't have to live there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
you don't
yeah.
have to live at the motel on Miller Road. You have $1 million.
Yeah.
You can live.
Why am I not living in a mansion? Because I can.
Exactly.
That ego just goes.
That's the thing.
That's what it was. The ego.
Would you? So also if you had $1 million, would you drive a car that's leaking oil and burning antifreeze all day, and you got to stop and?
I would not. I would get one that was functionally good, but I wouldn't. I don't think I would do shine. I don't know. When it talks about cars, I'm a car person. I would probably end up with the rims and the system. I would probably suck. I would fall right into that, just like you did, without question. That's why there's no judgment, because I know I fail all the time.
And it
too.
also it goes to anything. Like, say you have money. Okay, say your watch got diamonds. Why do you when the regular old watch from Walmart for $9.99 will work?
It keeps the time.
Yeah, but your watch has diamonds. So why? Because you can afford it. Yes.
The reason why is, well, yes.
But
the reason why is that, when I died from my car accident, time was taken from me.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't think I'd ever get it back. And so the one thing I spend some money on is watches, because it's a reminder of the most important thing I have is my time and what am I doing with it. And if I'm not helping somebody, I'm wasting it. And that's why. But
that's a very
and for the record, it's Swarovski crystals, not diamonds, because I couldn't afford that. But
that's a very noble answer. I like that.
But it's the reason, because once you realize one very important fact, this all ends. What did I do for eternity? And the one thing I can't get past as a person is God sent his son, and his son agreed to come and die for me, giving me value. I've never met anybody in my whole life that's done that.
Right.
It's extraordinary. And what am I going to do for that guy if that's what he's going to do for me? I cannot just go, I'm going to live my life, thanks for the ticket.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do that, man. I got to do something that helps people. So this dude helped me. I want you to know him too. And I have to do it because I wasn't supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be here now. Yeah. But that's the reason. And I wanted to thank you, Anthony. Was there anything else that you wanted to make sure, just as a button up for people if they?
Well, again, Christ was the deciding factor. The fact that I could reset my life and get it back on track, which wasn't too far fetched for me.
Right.
I never felt like a loser. I felt like I had lost at some point, but I never felt like a loser. My spirit wasn't broken to where I couldn't get back up and find a way back. So now life is going well. I'm happily married again to my second wife. Everything's beautiful. We have 5 kids between us, 1 grandchild with 1 on the way.
Congratulations.
Everything is beautiful.
Anthony, that was a great story, buddy, but we are out of time. Thank you so much for coming in. Please like, share, and subscribe on Spiritual Warfare Unit. We will see you next time. Do you have a nonprofit in your area that's doing a lot of work that people should know about? Feel free to contact Spiritual Warfare Unit at 810-715-9319, and we would love to have them on to see what good they're doing in the community and find out their story. Thank you so much.
Too much to let me stay this way. Jesus, there's freedom in your name. You break every chain, oh Lord. 'Cause you are above every name, Jesus. Oh, you set me free. Songs of praise, proclaiming everything you've done for me. 'Cause my walls came